one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ambrose.
Present.
Mr. Bellows.
Here.
Councilwoman Bybee.
Here.
Mr. Corona.
Here.
Mr. Farahi.
Here.
Mr. Jacobs. Mr. Long.
Here.
Ms. Young.
Here.
And Mayor Shibby. Here. Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll move to item B, and I apologize for my being brisk, but we are going to lose several of our members at various times throughout the day. So my goal is to keep our agenda moving in an expedited fashion and efficient. Item number B is comments from the floor by the public. Do we have any public comment?
No public comment at this time.
All right, we are on to C. This is our consent agenda. There are several items.
Sure.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I do have a public comment really
Great.
quickly.
Ma'am.
I want to say congratulations to Mrs. Armstrong. She is now Mrs. Armstrong. And then, lastly, I want to thank both of you profusely, for all your help over the last several days. It's been really, challenging. And Clara knows that. She was my MVP. She was by my side, but you guys really stepped in, helped the Red Cross and so many of those in need. Thank you for your, support of our firefighters, our first responders. Honestly, we were phenomenal, phenomenal. We were down here. I was down here a lot at 1 o'clock in the morning. You guys were down here, just doing everything you possibly could to make people feel comfortable, all the evacuees. I was so touched by the compassion of this organization. So I hope the board knows you can be very, very proud of the support that they provided the community. There were hundreds of people, right here in our facilities, and they
Thousands,
everything. Was it thousands? Yeah. I don't know. I'm still like,
almost.
I don't know what day it is. But
900.
I just have to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was so touching and compassionate. I won't share the stories, but I've never seen that kind of work from an organization, but they were so personal. And Renee, you just did an amazing job, and Mike and
It's a team effort. We all are.
Chad, you guys,
Thank you.
wonderful, wonderful, Chad,
Thank you.
wonderful. So thank you. Thank you.
That is a good opportunity to note all of the efforts from our local partners, local government. The Hawk fires, of course, have completely impacted our region. And so to hear what is happening right here in our organization is certainly moving. And of course, you know, we're all partners in terms of making sure that everyone in our community is well cared for and safe. So thank you so much, and thank you.
Thank you. And
Everybody.
Clara. Thank you, Clara.
Everybody,
Okay.
93% contained.
Yay.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move into item C. That's our consent agenda. We have several items in here. These can be taken all at once. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Can I give a motion in a second? Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We'll move into D, which are board matters. We're on to item D1. And I want to note for the body that I'll be continuing to watch the clock and make sure that we can address our items in priority based on everybody's availability and when we'll start to lose people. So if we need to move some items, I will know.
By what time are we moving it?
I think I have until 11:45. Thank you. Okay, so with that, we'll move into D1, which is our review, the discussion and possible action to approve the staff's recommendation to award is it Hussey seating. This is an item that is an amount not to exceed $6.3 million. And I know we have a representative from Hussey here, but Mr. Larragetta, would you like to?
I would.
Make a
Thank you,
comment?
thank you, Chair Young. Yes, it's my pleasure to introduce the Director of Project Development from Hussey Seating, Mr. Todd Vigil. It looks like it says Vigil, but it's Vigil, trust me. And Todd is going to give a brief presentation, give a little history of the time frame and the involvement of staff as it relates to how we got to where we're at today. But I think you'll be very pleased and impressed with what we've selected and the process, the timeline to completely revamp the Monroe Event Center.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, so I have a presentation for you today, but as we go along, this is your presentation. Feel free to interrupt me and ask questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. So I thought I'd start with who and what. Who is Hussey Seating, and what is a telescopic platform? Hussey Seating is a global manufacturer and engineering firm of seating solutions for public assembly venues. That includes K through 12, college and university projects, professional sports arenas, and city event venues like your event center. What is a telescopic platform? That is a portable structure that moves in and out. It's a mechanical structure that aligns with all building codes, that moves in and out so you can do different event configurations. So I thought some key questions you might have or want to know is Hussey Seating manufactures in Maine, North Berwick, Maine. 95% of your project will be made there. We have a laser technology plant that is incredible, and if you've never seen laser light cut through steel like it's butter, it's pretty cool to see. Anyone wants to visit Maine in October, just give me a call and we'll get you in. And also, we have robotic arms that bend and shape steel, so it's a very high-tech manufacturing facility. When the parts are done and made, you cannot measure the tolerances with a tape measure. They're that accurate, so it's pretty cool. We have 400 employees in that range, and we are ranked as the 50th oldest company in the US that is still privately held. Rare fact. We will install the project with Hussey Seating supervisors, and we will hire local skilled and unskilled labor from the job market to put in and remove your old telescopic, saw new telescopic, with prevailing wage rates. All of Hussey Seating products align with ICC code, which you use here in Reno. They use a 2024 version, if I remember right. And all the design changes that we went through with your team align with that code and that structure. In addition to that, Hussey Seating's telescopic that we'll install is the only telescopic that meets what's called ICC-ES, where the International Code Council, that's ICC, has come into Hussey Seating's manufacturing facility and said, yes, you manufacture the telescopics to code, to regulations, to safety standards. And we're the only one that has that in the US. Your life cycle current telescopics, about 15 to 20 years, depending on how many times you open and close them and use them, how you upkeep them. The enhanced telescopic that we are getting ready to release to you has an expected life cycle of 25 plus years with proper maintenance and care. So a quick summary and overview. Clickers will work here. So if you don't have any questions, we'll go to the next slides.
Yeah, please. I do have a question. You said as long as you maintain it, it will be probably able to use it for up to 25 years. Who maintains it? It's part of the contract that your company would come once a year or whatever the timetable is.
Yeah, that's a great question. Just like an automobile where you have to do regular maintenance, you also have to do regular maintenance on a telescopic system. And we can maintain it for you on an annual basis. Or we can come in and then train your staff how to do it too. So we can provide a supervisor. The telescopics have to be inspected annually by code, by ICC code. So we can come in when we inspect the telescopic by code and then tell you, yep, it's safe to use. Then we can come in and do maintenance and service at that time.
There are systems like this obviously these are our property. If it's not maintained, you have to have qualified people to maintain it.
Maintain and
Okay.
operate it, yes.
I saw your proposal, would it include the 25 years warranty on this and maintain it for us?
Yeah, that's expected life cycle on it is 25. The warranty is 5 years on all components and parts for the telescopic system.
So can we get additional warranties?
We have done that before for additional cost. But, we can look at that if you want that to be an option, absolutely.
Asking if you want the deal, you gotta include that.
Right, yeah,
You gotta teach them how to negotiate.
yeah, right, yeah. Part of that also depends on if you do the maintenance and repair on the telescopic. But we can certainly look at that, the structure, I'd say we probably have no problem going to a higher warranty for the structure, so.
Chair, all I'm trying to suggest, we need to have somebody maintain this equipment. It's not gonna last that long. Very broken when you need it, it's not gonna work. So I suggest that the staff sit down and decide who's gonna maintain this equipment. And then have some other questions regarding fundamentals of the thing, but that's all I suggest. If not, it's not gonna last. It's sophisticated piece of equipment, basically. So I would suggest that we deal with them to come at least for the first, 10 years or so, once a year, come and look at it, duplicate it, whatever it means. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is.
Yeah, and that is required in our warranty actually to do, but we can do that internally here. We also have local representation. I could come up and also do it for you.
Mr. Fry, how about we get together on that item? Thank you. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, yeah, good question. Thank you. So we went through a intensive design assist effort with 6 of your staff that were very, very, very picky about what they wanted to see in a new telescopic system, which was great. I say we've only had one intense design assist effort like this before that we have done, and that was with Alamo Dome in San Antonio, where they convert 12,000 telescopic seats from to 15 to 20 different configurations. And I would say this design assist approach rivaled that with how intense it was over 8 weeks, looking at how the telescopic was initially built, but how do you use it now for what events you have now? So it was great to go through. And out of that came 4 different configurations that for the telescopic system. Here's configuration number 1. It's called full house. And you have seating that goes in 3 sides around the arena with the stage in front. Very similar to what you use now. This is 3/4 configuration. You can see the difference here with the telescopic on the far left goes away. So the system is designed so that section can close and open as needed, depending on what event you have. The 3rd configuration is half house. You'll see the stage moves closer to the end. And again, another section of telescopic is designed to close and open as needed for that event. The 4th one is just fully closed. This is one that your team really challenged us with. And they said the current telescopic remains open in a large footprint, and we'd like to have some additional event floor space. So what we did was we took your current design, which is on the right-hand side, and you can see it's about 10 foot in the closed position. With the seat choice and redesigning of the enhanced telescopic, we were able to shave off almost 5 feet of closed position for your sideline telescopics, which opens up additional event floor space when you do conventions. So a good push by your team. This is the end zone telescopic. Right side is the closed position. Your current system, left side is what it will look like. Again, opening up about 4 additional feet in the closed position. Similar arenas, this will give you an idea, this is T-Mobile, arena. Las Vegas, I'm sure you're familiar with it, they wanted all black seats just for a visual appearance, what it looks like, I'd say. Probably 85% of the sports work we do goes with black or dark charcoal seats. This seat was chosen for the telescopic, which is over there in the corner. Also used at T-Mobile, and that allows the seats are designed to fold compactly, so the telescopic can retract back up against the wall in a compact position. Suite seats, also seats used in T-Mobile, sample over there also. That's your new suite seat that we put in. Very comfortable. INC, we're putting that in Northwestern's new football stadium right now.
Mr. Corona, it was just a coincidence that a 49er seat showed up. So,
So you did AT&T also, right?
We did, yeah, Cowboy Stadium, yeah. Do a lot of professionals there.
or even.
Mike begged me to put that logo. This Mark Event Center, very similar to your project, telescopic on 3 sides. They enhanced it with black looking seats, which really topped the facility and venue. Part of this telescopic was to operate in the closed position. Here's what it looks like from the top. Here's a before and after picture. You can see the picture to the right. They wanted the telescopic to have some design enhancements to be able to close and open certain sections. Our upgraded telescopic, you can see some of the additional features that are designed here for it to operate and function. Your group at the event center has been through all the design enhancements of what they're gonna get. They understand it clearly what that is, and I know you're pressed for time. I'm happy to walk through each one if you would like, or keep moving.
If I could just make one point, Ty, I think it's important to share with the board that one thing we learned through this process as it relates to the advancements of this seat and technology versus what we have now, is the time it takes to set up. So currently for us to do an event, set up the event and tear down is anywhere from a day and a half to 2 days. We will be able to do this, Todd went on record, said 90 minutes.
Wow.
So from an efficiency standpoint. Right, yes. From a labor standpoint, obviously, from that expense, the efficiencies are tremendous.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Vice Chair.
Based on Mr. Farahi's question, kind of catapulting from that, what is the life of this product with the proper maintenance?
Yeah, we expect it to be 25 plus years.
Okay, thank you.
We have proof of that because of the, this is an enhancement to the old system. And with proper care of our older telescopic generation, we're seeing 15 to 20 plus years, so. This one is gonna be much easier to maintain and keep up. Because all the connections now to maintain and keep up are done from the top. We put inserts into the telescopic frame. So if I need to change anything out, it's just a quick bolted connection.
Thank you.
Yep. Also, we'll track in much smoother and easier than what your current system has. With how it's engineered now to open from the back forward. Carrying all the weight forward. Traditional telescopics open row 1, 2, 3. Time they get to row 10, they're trying to pull everything open. The motors skip, the telescopic gets bound up. This telescopic will not have that issue. That's a patented feature for us. Schedule is logistics. We do this all the time. We transition new seats in and new seating structures in sports venues across the country all the time. American Airlines Center in Dallas, we did through basketball and hockey season and concerts. And unfortunately, both teams made the playoffs that year, so we were well into June and July with transitioning with events all the time in that arena. Here we're looking at the yellow area, starting with that. That will give us a cadence to install a large section, figure out, okay, logistics of the building, where do we store, house equipment, working around events, getting to know your team, and the first sections usually take a little bit longer. So we plan to demo the existing section and install that yellow section from early September into mid-October and have an event ready for you mid-October. The other sections on the sideline, we've broken those up into 4 different colors. And what will happen with those is we will look for 3-week windows where we transition out the old and install the new. So if we look at the top of the screen, the purple section, let's say we transition that in first with a new telescopic, but the rise and run will match the blue telescopic next to it, so it doesn't create any code violations or egress issues. That allows you to still have events, make money while we do the transition. And we will work with your team to figure out what those dates are and how to get it done. We've been very successful with this across the country. After the design assist effort, this is the price we came up with for your team. So we include both performance payment bond and the prevailing wage rates. The sample seats are over there. The Forte is the more compact one that goes on the telescopic. And the Clarity is the more cushioned one that will go in your suites. Any other questions for you?
Are there any questions, Mr. Fry?
Yeah. What is the square footage of the facility?
When Mr. Fry, when everything is completely closed, it's approximately 60,000 square feet.
And then you want to explain for the board, we have talked about that this is City of Reno facility.
Correct.
Are you making, this is exception that we put in this kind of amount in that because based on our agreement with the city, that city's facility. So if you could just explain how it came to about this, and then I want to ask about the study that you did, the feasibility study. Do you agree with that study and do you commit that we can make that kind of revenue out of that facility?
So I'll answer the second question first. Yes, obviously, we respect Brian and his team, and they're really diligent when they do their feasibility studies for us. It's the same organization that did our feasibility for the track, which has been pretty spot on. So yes, we believe in the numbers and the ROI. And we obviously have to be the ones that sell it and perform and
That's
validate.
why I'm asking.
Yes, we have the confidence to do that. Yes, sir. As it relates to the first question, yes, this is a city-owned facility that we manage on their behalf. There is a contract with the city, and there is language that speaks to the deferred maintenance and the capital and the expense that is absorbed by us versus the city. This greatly exceeds that amount, but we felt that because this is a facility that can drive tourism, both on the entertainment side, on the convention side, and on the sports group side, that it was our responsibility to put capital into that facility to drive tourism. That facility has not been touched in nearly 20 years, and I did a slight refresh, I believe it was 10 years ago, Robert, on those seats, 8 years ago. So we're literally holding the seats together with Scotch tape. It's not efficient, it's not on par with the competition, it's labor
I'm
intensive.
still arguing those issues. I just want the board to be, that we are doing this as part of enhancing facility that is not owned by the RSCVA.
Yes, sir.
Like city owned and this is so future when we do things, it's not because we have done it before, we're gonna do it again. The
That's
agreement does not include this kind of arrangement.
That's correct.
Okay.
And I just like to comment there, the National Bowling Stadium is also owned by the city of Reno. And we've made contributions to the National Bowling Stadium over the years. And, that's what ROI back to the city.
But we're using that facility. I just want to make sure we invest in this, we use it, and that investment, if you get the return that you have in there and you commit it, you're gonna be able to do it.
Yes, sir.
No question.
Okay, are additional comments, questions? Concerns? Okay, thank you for your presentation, appreciate it. You've managed to make seating riveting.
So Madam Chair, we're gonna sit, the team staff is gonna sit down with them as far as maintaining this equipment and come up with some arrangement.
Yes,
And
and
could you please report to us next meeting, what is the arrangement?
Absolutely.
And then I see how we can negotiate your.
good, then I will take that off my list. And the list just for John over here that I keep track of. Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Larangetta. So with that, and the presentation, and no other comments or questions, did you have any? Okay. Then I would, entertain a motion.
Chair, I'll move to approve item B1, staff's recommendation to award Hussey Seating, the purchase and installation of a new telescopic picture system.
Thank you, Mr. Bellows. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Motion and a second. Is there further discussion? None, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Beal. All right, we'll move to item D2, which is an item for possible action. This is the discussion of the resolution of intent of the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority proposing the issuance in the name and on behalf of Washoe County General Obligation Limited Tax. The maximum aggregate principal amount of $25 million for purposes of financing the convention center facilities, authorizing the publication of notices related thereto, and providing other matters properly related. And it is noted that we needed 2/3 vote on this. Mr. Larrington, want to start us out?
Mr. Chisholm.
Chisholm? Okay.
Yeah, and I apologize for the word jumble of the agenda item, but it does have to follow NRS and there's legal requirements in this. This is the next step in the process to issue the $25 million bond for the improvements to the convention center. August 14th, we went to the Washoe County Debt Commission and they approved the issuance of the $25 million. This is the next step where you are approving a resolution to issue the public notices in the Reno Gazette Journal to allow people to be aware that we are going to be issuing debt. The next step in October will be to hold a public hearing with this board on the issuance of the bonds, followed by in December, a bond resolution by this board to issue the debt. And then we'll go to the Washoe County Commission for them to issue the debt on our behalf. So I apologize again, but there's a lot of steps to make sure we go through them all. This was approved in the budget for this fiscal year.
Thank you. Are there comments, questions?
I have a comment. I thank you, Madam Chair. I really would like to commend Mr. Chisel and Mr. Larringetta for a lot of investment of your time in working with Washoe County and working with the CFO and really going through not only the compliance piece, but what was the least amount of risk. There's always risk, and I don't want to alarm anyone, but that just is the reality. And so minimizing that was really important. And thank you for all of the hard work and taking the time to meet with me and many others to get to this particular space. So thank you.
It is, we need to stress Washoe County will be issuing this debt and they've been great partners in this. And it's very helpful to the RSCVA that they are doing this on our behalf. So, thank you.
And I just want to say one thing. Mr. Chisel, I got remarkable feedback on your presentation. I had heard from one of the board members and they thought that there was another packet submitted by someone else and they called me and said, I'm not down with this. And I was like, that seems so strange. So you reached out to them and they said, oh, I'm sorry, it was the wrong packet, but what a phenomenal presentation. So I panicked and I was like, there's no way, because Robert's the best. And she called me back and she said, I'm so sorry, but she said his presentation was amazing. So I wanted to let you know. So thank you for your patience and obviously your expertise, because she was super impressed. She said, sorry, wrong organization. Ooh, thank goodness. Anyway, but she was impressed.
Thank you.
Said I'm not surprised.
Thank you. And also I will echo those comments. I know there's been a lot of work put into this, and thank you, Madam Vice Chair, for your work and effort and for helping to to facilitate all of these items.
Smart people working hard.
That is absolutely true, but sometimes that wheel turns with you at the helm. So thank you so much. All right.
Mr. Corona, have a question.
Yes, Mr. Connell.
I'd like to make a motion.
Great.
So, okay, for everybody, because we'll be doing this a few more times, I think, before. So I move to approve resolution number 607, proposing the issuance of in the name of on behalf of Washington County, Nevada General Obligation Limited Tax, Reno Sparks and Convention Visitors Authorities Convention Center bonds in the maximum aggregate principal amount of $25 million over your placeholder, Johnny, for the purpose of financing convention center facilities, authorizing publication of notice related thereto, and providing other matters properly related to thereto.
Second.
Okay,
Thank you very much for writing this one out.
Second, is there further discussion? None, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, passes unanimously.
We're just for the facts. When we bought that motel in 1972, the foundation center was already there. We didn't have it built a little bit. And just for the record.
Was that the Vagabond?
Uh,
What hotel was that?
it was Golden Door, then we changed it to Golden Road, because the guys had 3 of them up and down. So we had those 4 legs, we had to come up with another word instead of door.
Yeah.
So we came with road, we changed the letters around and we changed 1 letter.
Sorry. We will move to item D3, which is the review, discussion, and possible action to approve the revised strategic plan priorities for fiscal year 26-27.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it. So the staff has been working diligently to restructure the priorities of the strategic plan. You will see momentarily here when I go through these revised 6 priorities that they are really in line with CEO goals of the organization to drive tourism and overnight visitation, and obviously impact economic impacts. Based on the input from the board following the June presentation of the strategic plan update, we have reorganized the plan's priorities that will drive the focus of the CEO, the RSCVA, and the leadership team for fiscal year 27. The goal is to have a defined plan on the goals and objectives to align with fiscal year 27 goals. Today, I'll go over the refresh with an update of the 6 priorities of the RSCVA. I want to remind the board before we jump into these priorities that this has not changed. Obviously, our mission and our vision statement. Our mission is to attract overnight visitors while supporting the sustainable growth of our communities. Our vision is to be the preferred outdoor gaming and event destination. You will see the refreshed 6 priorities address and support our mission and vision goals and objectives. Think of today's priorities as the how, and the mission and vision are the why. The original 3-year strategic plan was built on 4 strategic goals: urban core revitalization, venue activation and event attraction, visitor access, and organizational sustainability and performance. The team has updated the plan through the lens of 6 priorities developed collaboratively with the leadership team on strategy and the board's recent input. These 6 priorities are what we will use to guide resource allocation and what we will bring back to you for oversight throughout fiscal year 27. The 6 priorities we have defined are: create room night demand, invest in technology in our venues, improve air service, embrace artificial intelligence and digital transformation, invest in event development, and specifically invest in the Reno Sparks Convention Center. The common thread in these priorities is intentional. Nearly all support increased room nights, room tax revenue, occupancy, and visitation. I'll briefly discuss each priority with the fiscal 27 focus areas and the KPIs we'll use to track our progress. Priority number 1 is to create room night demand through investment in our region, the Reno Sparks Convention Center, sales team expansion, and sports tourism and infrastructure. Capital improvement plans are scheduled for the next 12 to 18 months at the REC and the Convention Center. The sales team is looking at adding 2 regional directors of sales in high producing territories and an in-market business development director or manager to solicit leads for the association, corporate, and Smurf segments, and supports the addition of flat fields and facility infrastructure to drive sales groups. High-tech enabled venues are a necessity to be competitive. This is about guest experience and operational efficiency. We will modernize guest-facing technology, digital signage, artificial intelligence, powered trip planning, guest interaction, electronic key access, and wayfinding. We will improve connectivity and safety infrastructure while expanding operational technology, such as automated security and parking systems. We will add LED video walls and double top-tier wireless bandwidth in all our venues, of which all are included in our 2-year capital improvement plan. Air service development is foundational. We can change the perception of the destination, improve our hotel and facility product, have the most talented sales team in the country. But if we cannot add new routes, increase aircraft capacity, and support existing routes with financial marketing support, we will struggle expanding our tourism reach to new markets. Headquarter visits, familiarization trips with airline executives, direct support for our legacy carriers, and growing our air service development budget are all priorities in our new strategic plan. Mr. Fry, this one is for you. Artificial intelligence is changing how visitors discover and plan trips, and we will be ahead of that curve rather than reacting to it. We will establish an enterprise AI strategy spanning marketing, operations, and guest experience. We're expanding AI-powered trip planning and personalization, and building governance and education so adoption is responsible, not reckless. We will identify operational and labor efficiencies through the adoption of AI platforms and technology. We are starting to measure AI citations as visibility as AI-driven search becomes its own visitor acquisition channel. Events can fill shoulder seasons and build destination awareness beyond our core visitor base. We will secure new signature events, building on the momentum success of this past year, like Rebel Reno and the World Long Drive competition. We will ensure legacy events diversify and grow through marketing and financial support, and our commitment to financially support events will continue through the marketing and event development budgets. The Reno Sparks Convention Center is our single largest driver of association, corporate, Smurf, and sports group business. The approved $25 million in capital investment for the RSCC is a significant investment that gets us back in the game and on par with our primary competition. We need to continue to identify what the client needs, wants, and expects that will separate us from the competition. We need to be a step ahead in technology, AI, modernization, advertising, creativity, and operational efficiencies. I have tasked the team to assess our other venues, speak to clients, and do research on what the future brings in venue advancement. We will not rest on our initial approved capital investment. We will continue to invest with the goal of being the most advanced, modern, clean, safe, efficient, and sustainable 600,000 square foot convention center in the country. This scorecard is how we will hold ourselves accountable. Every priority presented today rolls up into a metric on this scorecard. For fiscal year 27 and 28, you will see 2 new additions to the scorecard. AI citations, which reflects priority number 4, and resident favorability of tourism, which reflects our commitment to community sustainability alongside growth. This scorecard will be our shared checkpoint. We will consistently provide updates to the board against these targets throughout the year. We look forward to your thoughts, feedback, and direction on the revised priorities of the strategic plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael, if I have that, I want to frame that, put it in my office.
You're gonna be a big friend.
I'll take care of it, Mike.
Yes, sir.
God bless you.
Absolutely.
Is that exact presentations on our package?
I'm happy to share my notes with you. Sure.
I just want you to have.
So in your packet, you'll have not only the 6 priorities, but you'll have the objectives in order to achieve those priorities.
When was that sent out? Because I apologize, I didn't see that.
Monday would be the first time it would have been sent. And then
You
should
sent
have
it out
received-
this past Monday?
And then you should have received one today as well, revision.
Oh, one updated one today then?
Correct. It didn't change that presentation though. The updated one today.
I appreciate it, but I did not see that.
All right. I'm sure. Question.
Councilwoman
So Mike, on the resident favorability of tourism, how are we measuring that? I really appreciate it's in your metrics that you're going, but how do we measure that? Surveys,
Yeah, so I'll speak
input, kind of give me an idea.
all that, yes, surveys, visitor sentiment, through, I always forget the name of it. Future Partners, who presents to us twice a year. They obviously provide this board all of the data that is shared through surveys, cell phone data. What else do you want?
Yeah, so that's our resident sentiment study, our visitor profile study, and then our brand effectiveness study that we tend to share with the board year after year. And so that's how we're measuring those metrics, but they do conduct surveys.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
I want to compliment you, Michael. You jumped on this, you got the job done. Now execution is the key. Plans are fabulous, is execution. So, how are we gonna know that the facility that we are updating or upgrading the convention center, that is gonna be competitive? I know you had said you're gonna go visit.
Yes.
I know some information about it already, but I wanna know other team members, the board knows. What are we doing, please?
So several areas. One, yes, we have scheduled visits. We've already been to San Francisco and Sacramento. We've identified centers and cities that either have completed a remodel and upgrade or are going through the process or have plans to. We just scheduled Seattle for September 29th. We're also going to Palm Springs and Anaheim. All facilities that we feel we're competing with, that have gone through, several $100 million in renovation, expansion, and growth. So besides just seeing is believing and seeing what they've done, we've already picked up a few ideas. In addition to that, obviously, we travel. We were just in Indianapolis for ASAE. I walked the entire floor of the facility to see what they had. It's a bit of an older facility, so not much advancement there. But we also are telling our team, obviously, we have 8 regional offices all across the country who are in their cities, and then to see their facilities, whether that's Atlanta or Southern California, or it's in the Midwest, St. Louis, whatever it may be, we want them to go to their facilities as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are there additional comments or questions? Right, thank you for the presentation. With that, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve as presented.
Thank you. I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Corona. We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion on the item? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, we are on to item D4, which is the review, discussion, and possible action to recommend the Board of Request for Proposal number 2026 EXCC C01 for the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority Government Affairs Representations to Wadham's Advisors. With that, are there any disclosures that need to be made, Mr. Bellows?
Thank you, Chair. I have a disclosure to make on item D4. In my role at NV Energy, we have a contract with Wadham's Advisors for representation from the Nevada State Insurance Commission. And I consulted with board counsel, and I do not believe this represents a conflict, and I intend to vote on this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Bellows. For additional disclosures to make. You'll have to bear with me. I have a speech here. I have consulted with counsel and have a disclosure to make in this matter. Matt Griffin, one of the owners of the Griffin Company, and his family are close personal friends of myself and my family. They were also applicants under this RFP request. And so in light of the significance of the relationship and out of an abundance of caution, I have a commitment in a private capacity to Mr. Griffin that requires a disclosure pursuant to NRS 281A.420 subsection 1. I do not have personal business relationships with Mr. Griffin or the Griffin Company, nor do I have a pecuniary interest in the Griffin Company or this item. However, I am a trustee of the Reno Tahoe Airport Authority, and they do represent the organization. As such, my judgment in this matter will not be affected by this relationship, and I will be participating in the item. Separately, I have consulted with counsel and have a disclosure to make in this matter with respect to Jesse Wadhams, who is a principal of the Wadhams Advisors Group. Jesse is a close personal friend of myself, and in light of the significance of the relationship and out of an abundance of caution, I have a commitment in a private capacity to Mr. Wadhams that requires a disclosure pursuant to NRS 281A.420 subsection 1. I do not have a personal business relationship with Mr. Wadhams or the Wadhams Advisors Group, nor do I have a pecuniary interest in Wadhams Advisors or this item. However, or as such, my judgment in this matter will not be affected by this relationship, and I will be participating in the item. Okay. Having said that, let's move.
Thank you so much.
This item was brought to the Executive and Legislative Committee for review and recommendation to the full board. As such, it is the recommendation of the Executive and Legislative Committee that Wadhams Advisors be selected to continue representing the RSCVA as its government affairs representative. If there are questions or comments on this, I'd be happy to entertain them.
To make a motion,
Thank you, Mr. Farrar.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Oh, yes.
All right, I just want to, I think one of the things, and this is not against any particular government, affairs firm, because I work with a lot of them. I just want to ask Mr. Wadhams. He's like, should I? You know, we do get your updates and all the good stuff. I just would like a plan of tracking bills. We're starting to do that a little bit better at the city. I know you guys track them, but you have a lot on your plates. You know, because I've worked with many of them. So I just want to make sure that whenever the RSCVA is involved, that you're constantly have a tracker and a plan. So that we can all follow them together. Oftentimes, because we sort of put it onto you, we tend to be a little bit out of sight, out of mind. So if that's something that we could really be involved with so that we can follow along on the process. Usually we get on the back end of these bills, and by that time, they're passing something behind the bar and none of us even know it. So just some sort of flag on a bill tracker before we get down a road. Jesse, you're really pretty good about it, but I've worked with a lot of different ones. And oftentimes they didn't even realize it because there is so much on your plate. So I just want to make sure that we come up with a solid way so the board can follow some of the developments that happen in the legislature. So it's not after the fact. So we're doing it with them, not sort of to us.
Yeah, Mr. Wadhams, thank you. And Madam Mayor,
Yeah.
one of my revisions as chair will be to have a regular presentation by our government affairs representative so that we are kept in the loop regularly, but I'll have Mr. Wadhams
Good about
answer your
coming
question.
in and presenting. A little different look this year. You had long hair for a little while, but
Nobody like that.
yeah.
I did. Madam Mayor, just to address your comments, and I appreciate them. Funny enough, I actually run two bill trackers simultaneously.
No.
Learned the hard way. When one goes down, I wanted a backup, so I actually run two simultaneously.
Okay, good.
And a report goes out actually every, particularly during the session, and we are starting to do bill BDR tracking. So we do push that out
Okay.
to your team here at the RSCVA, but to the extent you would like more of that, I am happy to do it because we are already doing it, so we are bill tracking already. And we are actually, we are growing, we now have a new hire, so we are additionally adding to the team, so we will have a full complement in Carson City, ready to go.
Okay, perfect. And maybe it's not sometimes reporting, you know, we have a lot to read, all of us, I know we do. And maybe there's just a better way to sort of flag it so we can follow it with you.
Absolutely, and I do try to stay in constant communication with Mr. Largetta, and we can do more of
Perfect.
that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Just like I said, maybe more discussion at this body so we can submit our comments to the legislature.
I think those comments are well taken.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there
And I-
additional comments?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I do, as you know, I try to be here or a member of the.
Yes, you're very
here,
good
and
about it.
Happy to put a presentation on for whatever meeting you want,
Perfect.
or all meetings, to kind of keep them things
Yeah,
updated.
perfect. Thanks so much, Jesse.
Okay, thank you.
I do.
Counselor Shinbai.
Can we clarify the length of the contract? I'm not seeing whether this is 1 year, 2 year. Yeah, and I'm looking in the packet here too. Is it 1 year contract, 2 year contract?
With discussion, Judge, in the past, I believe it was an annual with Evergreen, is that correct?
Generally, what we have done is an annual, you can cancel at 30 days notice. That's generally pretty industry standard now. What I do is, particularly for RSCVA, we do an off session rate, which is a little lower, and then an on session rate, which is obviously there's more activity, more work. And then it can just kind of rotate and keep going. So I believe the RFP said through the session and any potential special session, so it was a little amorphous, considering you never know if a special session is gonna show up. They sometimes do. But we can work with the team on any turnstone.
So annually, we
One
would
year
be
with a-
looking at an RFP every year? Or,
It's 1 year with a 30-day out, so, and then what we've done is just extended that year, as we get closer to the end of the term of the agreement.
okay,
We technically could bring back an RFP every year if the board requested.
yeah, because I don't remember having an RFP before in my
Just-
6 years.
Yeah.
And I do remember like extending, but so this is actually for the 1 year and we can extend it, or if we had a request for RFP, we could.
Yeah, if the board
Start that.
was interested in going out to RFP, similar to what we did during this exercise, then we would entertain that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wadums. Mr. Farahi, I would just confirm that your motion that you made was to approve this item?
Yes,
Thank you. We have a motion and a second on the floor. We've had our discussion. I will go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
I,
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wadums. Okay, we will move on to item D5, which is the Mike Larragueta's President and CEO evaluation for 2025 and 2026, the merit increase and bonus determination. I'm also going to open item D6, which is a review and discussion of the President and CEO employment agreement and the President and CEO evaluation and compensation policy. I'm opening these two items together so that we can have a cohesive conversation around them. With that, we will look to Mr. Larragueta for his presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I do the year in review, as we did for the Executive and Legislative Committee, in the first meeting, we went through each individual approved 9 goals for fiscal year 25-26. And because the majority of the board has not seen those results, we'd like to go through those very quickly. I will represent the goals on the sales side, and then each department head will represent the goals from their respective areas. And then I'll go and do my presentation, if that's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So goal number 1 was tied to group night production for the sales department. For fiscal year 25-26, the approved goal was 282,523 produced group room nights within fiscal year 25-26 for future dates. I'm happy to report that the group not only achieved the goal, they established the highest individual performance in group room nights in the 9.5 years I've been here. You might hear that again in a minute. And the weight of that goal was 20%. The second goal is tied to leisure room night production. So this is all third-party distribution, global distribution system, tour operators, shuttle operators, and online travel agencies. The approved goal was 675,470 cash hotel room nights. Again, happy to say that the group was very successful in achieving that goal, finishing at 758,863 room nights at 112% to goal, and the weight on that goal was 15%. The third goal, which I will also speak to, was relative to community engagement. The goal was for me to participate in 30 different community engagements. Those are activities associated with whether it's a Rotary Club, a groundbreaking, a wing breakfast, whatever it may be, just getting out in the public and representing the RSCVA. I'm happy to report that I participated in 44 different activities, which was 146% to goal and was 10% of the total value of the goal and its weight. Those were the 3 goals that I was going to cover, and then I'm going to pass it to Christina to go over the marketing.
Thank you. This was a very strong year for marketing performance. Our paid media engaged our target audiences, our PR efforts generated significant exposure, and that activity is driving meaningful traffic to our website. We established an ambitious 10%. I'm gonna go to this first one. We established an ambitious 10% paid media engagement rate this past year, and we achieved over 15% paid media engagement rate. This activity is due to working closely with our partners at Miles to not only generate impressions, but to deliver compelling, creative, and content to have those consumers take action on our paid media. This second goal was to increase enhanced website engaged sessions to achieve 733 ED sessions. This is a result that I'm particularly impressive, given the dramatic shift that has happened this past year with AI and the digital behavior. AI has transformed how consumers plan, research, and book travel. And our agency partners have communicated to us that most DMO websites are seeing a 25% decline on their websites. We actually saw growth on our website this past year of a little over 3% growth. Unfortunately, that didn't get us to our very ambitious goal. It got us to 99% of that, but seeing growth year over year was definitely due to the team, and that, you know, when we are met with resilience, like the resilient team, and just how they weren't going to take that trend as an answer, and they really activated several channels to continue to drive people to our website who wanted to engage with our website. So I'm particularly proud of this and what we were able to achieve. And then the last goal is to achieve 215 earned media placements. These are our PR efforts. Our final result was 332, which is 117 over goal. So I'm really proud of our PR team, really activating that conversation on a national level and inserting Reno Tahoe into conversations to get that earned media exposure.
All right, I'm here to talk about the venue revenue goal. So our revenues are a combination of rent, operational expenses, AV/IT, parking, and other. And I'm happy to say that we beyond exceeded our goal. So the convention center had a goal of about $3 million, and we ended at 4. The livestock event center had an operational goal of $1.3 million. We ended that at 1 million. The Reno Event Center had a goal of $1.6 million, and we came in at $1.6 million. And the National Bowling Stadium had a goal of 1.4, and we came in at 1.5. Overall, we did $8,203,000, which was 111% over our goal.
What was the bottom line of the 8 million?
The bottom line?
Your departmental, this is revenues, fine. Did we lose on it, or did you make net gain on it? Net income, what did you do?
So we break down all 4 facilities lost money on bottom line, which they have every year. Unfortunately, the one facility that we feel we do have the opportunity to break even or make money is the Reno Event Center, just because the operational expenses are less. But Mr. Chisel can provide you the exact amounts on the losses.
Well, we are in the process of closing our books for the fiscal year, so that they are not audited financials or anything at this point, but we're looking at having lost about $8 million.
Madam Chair, I want to suggest, like we run business, department by department in detail, where we lost money, how much was revenue, what was the net income for that department, because based on that, it's going to determine which part of the business we want to be in, which part of business we need to get out of, so we can put the resources where we get return on our investment.
Okay, thank you.
So could we have that for next meeting, Madam Chair, so presentation be made to us?
I will work with Mr. Larangetta to look at those numbers. I'm making a note here so I don't forget.
But are we going to make a presentation to us next meeting on this? Are they going to be ready to make a presentation?
Big to wait till either October or December. December, we will be presenting the financial statements. So those will be audited financial statements and that would carry a little more weight. I kind of hesitate to give numbers until the auditors have blessed them because they may change and I don't want incorrect numbers out there. So if we could wait till December 10th or 11th board meeting, that'd be preferable.
Robert, that's tremendous respect for you. So as long as it's in detail.
Yes.
So where are we making money? Where are we losing money? And if we're losing money, why?
We will get that period.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Julian, get it. All right,
So the last two goals have to do with staff surveys. We're measuring employee sentiment across the organization. Last year, some of you were on the board and may remember that we executed our very first organization-wide employee survey, and our response rates and our results were phenomenal. Last year, we had a 75% response rate, and that was our target. This year, we came in with a 72% response rate, which is still way above national averages, which tend to be 30 to 40, maybe 50% in organizations. So we were very pleased with that. What's really great is our employee satisfaction and happiness rate. Last year, it was 96%. This year, just a little bit under at 93%. But 50% of organizations across the country really only report employee engagement, employee happiness, satisfaction at maybe the 30 to 50% mark. And so as you can see, our employee sentiment remains high, and we have a very engaged workforce, which actually reflects in all the results of every other metric that you've seen.
Do they get the day off to fill the survey?
Make them come in early.
Lunch, they have a lunch.
Yeah. So that concludes the results of the goal for this year, 25-26. If it's okay with the board, I'd like to proceed into the review presentation.
yes, thank you, Mr. Rangetta.
Hopefully it's better words. And this is a summary just very quickly of the goals and the weight and where we finished. Okay. Madam Chair, Vice Chair Andriola, and members of the Board of Directors, thank you for the opportunity to share what has been a very productive, successful year for Visit Reno Tahoe. As we begin this year in review, I want to start by saying how proud I am of the organization, and most importantly, our people. The results we will share today are a direct reflection of the commitment, creativity, and collaboration of our team, along with the continued support and leadership of this board. Today, I want to focus on more than just the numbers. Certainly, production matters, and we have a great deal to be proud of in terms of the business generated, visitor spending, overnight visitation, major events, and overall economic impact we're helping create for our community. But our success this year is also about how we achieve those results. It is about the strength of our marketing and the continued evolution of the No Limits brand platform. It is about our sales team continuing to identify new opportunities and bring more business to the destination. It is about our employees stepping up, taking on new responsibilities, and finding ways to do more with our resources. It is about our employees stepping up, finding more resources. It is about strong communication with this board and greater engagement with our community partners and stakeholders. It is about collaboration throughout our hospitality industry with our elected officials, our venues, our hotels, our airlines, our sports partners, our business community, and so many others who play a role in making this destination successful. We will also talk about the continued success of programs and events that are now entering their second year. At the same time, we are not standing still. This past year brought new initiatives, new partnerships, and some significant wins that position us for continued growth. We have continued to look at where the marketplace is going, where our visitors come from, what our customers want, and how we can position Reno Tahoe to compare more effectively for visitors, meetings, conventions, and sporting events. One of the most encouraging aspects of this past year is that we are seeing the results, the strategy come together. Our employees are more engaged and empowered, our partnerships are stronger, and our organization continues to evolve with the needs of the destination. Our goal is to make sure you have the information you need. Understand not only that we are accomplishing, but why we are making the decisions we make, and have confidence that we are good stewards of the resources entrusted to us. So today, I'll walk through the year from several different perspectives: production, marketing, employees, board communication engagement, collaboration, the continued success of our second year programs and events, and the new initiatives and major wins that will help shape our future. But I also want today's presentation to demonstrate that we are simply not celebrating what happened yesterday. We are building on that success and creating the foundation for what comes next. I'm extremely proud of what our team has accomplished this year, grateful for the partnership of this board, and excited about where we are headed. With that, Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you again for the opportunity. Let's look at the year in review. There are 6 areas I want to focus on today, and you'll notice that production and marketing are only part of the story. We can produce tremendous room nights and visitor spending, but our long-term success depends on having the right people, strong relationships with this board and our community, successful programs that we'll continue to build on, and the willingness to pursue new opportunities. That is really the theme of this presentation: performance today while positioning Reno Tahoe for tomorrow. I want to begin with production because ultimately this is what our organization is charged with doing: bringing visitors, meetings, conventions, sports, and events to our destination and generating economic impact. And the numbers we're about to look at tell a very strong story. Our group sales production increased significantly this year, reaching 340,479 room nights, compared to 284,563 last year. That is a substantial increase and demonstrates the strength of our sales team and the demand we are generating for Reno Tahoe. I'm proud of the sales team for producing the highest group production my 9+ years at the RSCVA. It's also important to recognize that this production doesn't happen in isolation. It requires the cooperation of our hotels, venues, transportation, partners, restaurants, and attractions. When we sell the destination successfully, the entire community benefits. Tourism sales were another significant increase, reaching 758,863 room nights, compared to 677,580 last year. This is particularly important because leisure travel provides a broad economic benefit throughout the entire community. These visitors aren't just filling hotel rooms. They're dining, shopping, experiencing our attractions, visiting our venues, and spending money throughout the region. The combination of group and leisure business gives us a very healthy, diversified tourism economy. Our average daily rate finished $146.42. What's encouraging here is that we're maintaining rate strength while growing, increasing visitation and room night production. Our objective isn't simply to put heads in beds. We want to attract visitors and groups that generate meaningful economic impact and support the long-term health of our hotel partners and our destination. Occupancy finished at 66.5%, a growth of over 5.2% over prior year. The broader story is the increase in room night production and taxable revenue. Our job is to continue to creating demand, particularly during need periods, while maintaining rate integrity. That's where our sales and marketing strategy must work together. This is one of the numbers I'm particularly proud of: $499.7 million in taxable room revenue. That's a significant economic contribution to our community and represents a significant increase over the prior year. This is ultimately why the work of Visit Reno Tahoe matters. Every additional visitor and every additional room night contribute to the overall economic engine of our region. Production results versus budget put this year's performance into perspective. Tourism sales, group sales, visitor counts, overall room tax revenue, average daily rate, and occupancy all finished above budget. So this isn't simply a case of beating one metric. We exceeded budget across virtually every major production category. When we compare fiscal year 25-26 versus fiscal year 24-25, the results are impressive. Tourism sales increased 12%, group sales nearly 20%, visitor counts up 6.7%, taxable room revenue up 8.8%, visitor count 6.7%, average daily rate 0.5%, and occupancy 5.2%. We're not just recovering, we're building on our performance. We achieved several all-time records this past year. Average daily rate records were established for the months of March, April, and May. We produced very strong cash room nights during the spring and early summer, with June generating more than 340,000 cash room nights. Visitor counts were up 6.7%. Taxable revenue records by month were recorded for 6 consecutive months, January through June, and annual room tax revenue is a record at nearly $500 million, surpassing the previous high at $478 million. These stats demonstrate that demand for Reno Tahoe is strong, and we accept the challenge to continue building on that momentum. The convention center had a very strong year. We generated more than 4.6 million in building revenue, hosted 216 events, and welcomed more than 262,000 attendees. Most importantly, we exceeded our budget by nearly $1 million. That performance demonstrates the value of continuing to invest in the facility and in the sales efforts behind it. The Reno Event Center numbers also saw growth year over year. We increased events and attendance and building revenue, reaching approximately 1.6 million. While we're below the ambitious budget established for the year, we still generated substantial growth over the prior year. This is a venue where we continue to see opportunities for strong utilization and continued development. The National Bowling Stadium had an outstanding year. Building revenue reached more than 2.1 million, significantly exceeding budget with 90 events and more than 75,000 attendees. The stadium continues to be an important competitive advantage for Reno Tahoe, particularly because of the scale and uniqueness of the events that we can attract. This is another example of our venues finding ways to generate incremental revenue. Advertising and suite sponsorship revenue reached more than $272,000, exceeding both budget and the prior year. These may seem like small numbers when you compare them to room tax revenue, but collectively, these additional revenue streams strengthen the financial performance of our facilities. USBC continues to demonstrate why the National Bowling Stadium is such an important asset. Food and beverage revenues increased to approximately 1.88 million, nearly 200,000 above the 2023 comparison. The team also implemented several operational improvements, including expanded service hours, lane-side mobile ordering, and AI-powered self-checkout. This is a good example of continuing to improve the guest experience while also improving our operational performance. Production gets people here. Marketing helps create the demand that makes that production possible. Our marketing strategy this year was focused on being more targeted, more measurable, and more integrated across leisure, meetings, conventions, sports, and our venues. The following achievements represents the health of our marketing ecosystem. We saw significant growth across every major KPI. These numbers show the breadth of our marketing performance. We generated 15.7% paid media engagement rate, significantly exceeding our goal. Partner referrals increased 24%, website sessions increased, venue traffic increased 51%, and our social community grew 32%. These wins demonstrate that our integrated marketing strategy is producing stronger engagement that delivers real visitors to our destination. The No Limits brand continues to give us a strong platform to tell the Reno Tahoe story. The real value in that, it allows us to speak with one voice across leisure travel, meetings, conventions, sports, and other strategic initiatives. It has become more than a campaign. It is becoming part of how we position the destination. It isn't just a tagline, it's strategic repositioning, and it's working. In an ad testing survey, 94% of viewers said they would visit Reno Tahoe after seeing the campaign. Here's a quick look at our latest No Limits video.
They say you can't be in two places at once. Clearly, they have never been here. Reno Tahoe is the ultimate base camp for those who choose to live life to its fullest. This is a land of extremes where world-class adventure is fused with 24-hour energy. Go ahead, have it both ways. That's the point. From the heights of the Sierras to the soul of the city, it's all you. No limits. Get going at visitrenotahoe.com.
Leisure advertising continues to generate strong returns on investment, with Miles Partnership as our agency leading these efforts. We expanded our reach in priority drive and fly markets while securing additional exposure through partners like National Geographic and Travel and Leisure, helping elevate Reno Tahoe's national profile. The leisure campaign generated substantial measurable activity, including more than 2.6 million clicks and an estimated 75.3 million in economic impact. We also see actual observed visits from the people exposed to our advertising. That's an important evolution in destination marketing, moving from impressions and awareness toward measurable visitation and economic impact. Our meeting and convention segment marketing continues to support the sales pipeline with highly targeted campaigns. Our meetings and convention strategy generated more than 2,100 inquiries, 136,000 plus clicks, and more than 15 million ad views. These aren't simply marketing stats. These are prospective customers entering the sales funnel. The objective is to create qualified demand so that our sales team can ultimately convert this into room nights and have an economic impact. Our national public relations program generated more than 300 earned 300 earned media placements, nearly 4.9 billion potential impressions. We also generated a dramatic increase in backlinks, which is particularly valued because it improves our digital authority and helps people discover Reno Tahoe organically. This is earned credibility that we can't simply purchase through advertising. We intentionally pursue high-quality national storytelling through outlets like Forbes, the New York Times, Travel and Leisure, Eater, and Sport Destination Management. We also remain focused locally. We generated hundreds of interviews and earned media mentions, reaching more than 132 million potential impressions. Local PR matters because our residents, businesses, and community partners need to understand the value of tourism and the work being done on their behalf. This recognition is really a reflection of the creativity and professionalism of our marketing team. We receive recognition across public relations, digital content creation, and destination marketing. I'm especially proud of the team for receiving the Hermes Creative Award. These honors reinforce that our team continues to innovate while competing successfully against larger destinations. Air service is critical to our destination, and our marketing strategy has increasingly connected directly with the markets that we have or are developing air service in. We generated more than 30 million ad views and a 42% meta engagement rate, which is significantly above industry benchmarks. This is exactly the type of targeted marketing we need to support our air service partners. The Insider Advantage program is a great example of taking something familiar, the old show your badge concept, and modernizing it. We're connecting convention, sports, and meeting attendees directly with local businesses. More than 50 businesses are currently participating, and we're collecting data that helps us understand how visitors are living throughout the destination. This is a win for our visitors and a win for our local businesses. I want to spend some time on community engagement because I believe this is an important part of the CEO role. Our organization cannot operate in a silo. Tourism touches virtually every part of this community. So maintaining relationships with business leaders, nonprofits, elected officials, stakeholders, sports and community organizations is essential. This slide represents a tremendous amount of time and relationship building. Over the course of the year, I participated in events, presentations, groundbreaking ceremonies, community meetings, legislative discussions, sports initiatives, educational programs, and nonprofit activities. The goal isn't simply to show up. The goal is to make sure Visit Reno Tahoe is engaged, visible, and contributing to the broader conversation about the future of our community. I also wanted to create more consistent communication with our stakeholders. We had quarterly stakeholder meetings throughout the year, bringing people together around sales, production, marketing, research, brand developments, PR, and our broader destination strategy. Transparency and communication are important to me, and I want our stakeholders to understand not only what we're doing, but why we're doing it. Everything we've accomplished begins with our people. We can have the best strategy in the world, but if we don't have employees who are engaged, motivated, and committed to the mission, we won't succeed. I'm very proud of this result, 93% employee satisfaction. That tells me that we're creating an environment where people feel good about coming to work and understanding the purpose behind what they do. And I don't take that number for granted. We must continue listening, communicating, recognizing performance, and creating opportunities for our employees to grow. We also continue to invest in employee engagement outside of the traditional workplace. Our holiday and summer events give our employees an opportunity to connect with one another and celebrate what we've accomplished. Those moments matter because culture doesn't happen by accident. The Spotlight Awards are another important part of recognizing our people. I want our employees to know that great work is noticed and appreciated. Recognition doesn't have to be complicated, but it must be genuine and consistent. I want to emphasize the importance of my relationship with the board because I view that as an important responsibility in my role. The CEO works for this board and ultimately for the community. Strong communication, transparency, and trust between the board and management are essential to our success. I want to personally thank Chair Young and each of you for your level of engagement you've demonstrated this year. Whether it was the American Century Championship, Governor's Dinner, employee activities, Nevada football games, or USBC's opening ceremonies at the National Ability Stadium, your presence matters. When our board shows up, it sends a message to our community and our partners that tourism is important and that this organization has strong leadership behind it. I appreciate the time you invested. Now I want to transition to several programs that have moved beyond the initial launch phase and are showing that they have staying power. The question isn't simply whether we can launch something successfully. The question is whether we can build it, improve it, and make it sustainable. Our airport entertainment program is a great example of enhancing the visitor experience from the moment someone arrives. We provided 17 scheduled musical performances and added new signage designed to improve both the arrival and departure experience. The airport is one of the first impressions when visitors hit our destination. We want questions. We want that impression to be unmistakably Reno Tahoe. Year 2 of the indoor track program has demonstrated that this is becoming a significant sports asset. We generated more than 16,000 room nights, a 30% increase from the first season, and attracted 83 universities. We also hosted nearly 8,000 athletes across collegiate, youth, high school, and master's competitions. This is exactly what we mean when we talk about building programs that have the potential to become destination-defining events. Creator Camp has evolved into one of our most innovative and nationally recognized destination initiatives, where we change the perception of first-time visitors while generating millions of social media content views featuring the diverse activities of Reno Tahoe. We brought together creators from across the country and internationally and gave them an authentic Reno Tahoe experience. The creators who led camp activities this year had a combined following of over 8.6 million people. The goal was to have them experience the destination firsthand and then tell that story to their audiences. We aren't simply buying advertising. We're creating advocates for the destination. The results validate the strategy. We're seeing millions of views, significant engagement, website traffic, more than 1.7 million in influencer coverage value. But the number that really stands out to me is the growth in engagement, up 172% year over year. That tells us the content isn't just being seen, people are interacting with it. Sometimes the best measures of a program aren't the stats behind it that people say about this, what the people say about the experience. These testimonials demonstrate that Creator Camp is creating an emotional connection with Reno Tahoe. They aren't simply talking about scenery. They talk about our people, the hospitality, and the relationships that were developed here. That's exactly the kind of authentic advocacy we're trying to create. I think this video tells the story better than I ever could. As you watch it, think about what we're really accomplishing. People who came here as creators are leading ambassadors for Reno Tahoe.
Thank you for being here at the 2026 Reno Tahoe Creator Camp.
Reno Tahoe Creator Camp. I'm sending it down a whitewater rafting track.
It's a little nippy out, but it should be super fun.
That was amazing. That was my first time in Lake Tahoe.
That was the best day on the lake ever.
First time on a hot air balloon today. A little bit nervous, but I am psyched and ready for it.
It was awesome. I think that was my favorite activity of the whole trip so far.
My favorite part of this weekend was just connecting with so many like-minded creators.
How awesome and exciting this community can be.
Final section is about looking forward. We've had a very successful year, but I'm not interested in simply celebrating last year. Our responsibility is to take that momentum we've created and turn it into future opportunity. I've also made it a priority to be engaged in organizations and boards that influence tourism, economic development, hospitality, sports, and the broader community. These relationships provide us with information, influence, and opportunities that ultimately benefit Visit Reno Tahoe. The CEO must be an advocate for the destination well beyond this building. We also continued our commitment to community organizations through our unsolicited program. We funded 24 initiatives totaling more than $43,000. These are organizations doing important work in our community. Our support is another way that Visit Reno Tahoe demonstrates that we're not simply a tourism organization, we're a community partner. This is an example of work that may not be as visible publicly, but is extremely important operationally. We conducted a competitive RFP process, evaluated 5 proposals using standardized criteria, and selected Allied Universal based on our overall evaluation. The process was designed to be fair, transparent, and focused on value, experience, and performance. Our name, image, and likeness program with the University of Nevada Athletic Department has become a very exciting new platform for Visit Reno Tahoe. In year 1, we completed 11 activations across tourism, events, conventions, content creation, and community engagement. We worked with more than 70 athletes and incorporated sports, band, and cheer. The key is that we're not treating NIL simply as sponsorship. We're using these athletes as storytellers and ambassadors who can introduce Reno Tahoe to new audiences. Here are examples of how integrated the NIL program has become. We're using athletes in tourism, storytelling, event engagement, and brand content development. It gives us a different way to reach audiences that traditional destination marketing doesn't always reach as effectively. And we're still early in understanding the full potential of this program. New air service creates an opportunity for us to be proactive. With the new national nonstop service beginning Thursday, October 1st, we're not waiting for passengers to discover Reno Tahoe. We're going to Nashville. We're taking board members, stakeholders, and local dignitaries with us, and introducing the destination directly to meeting planners, media, and decision makers. That is how we maximize the value of air service. The next few slides will focus on citywide conventions we booked this past fiscal year for future years. This is a terrific example of long-term sales production. Veterans of Foreign Wars produced more than 10,000 room nights in 2026, with nearly 1,900 rooms on peak, and we're already positioning ourselves for the return in 2029. Winning business is important. Winning repeat and future business is more valuable because it gives us a pipeline we can build on. Here again, we're looking at meaningful future room night production. The Disabled American Veterans business represents nearly 8,000 room nights and more than 1,300 rooms on peak. These are the kinds of groups that provide predictable, high-value convention business for our destination. The Wild Sheep Foundation is another example of converting relationships and sales efforts into repeat business, having held the Wild Sheep Foundation in Reno Tahoe for 33 years. We continue to position Reno Tahoe for citywide convention business and continue to diversify the types of groups we attract. This is another strong sports win, more than 20,000 room nights and more than 2,100 rooms on peak. Sports remains one of the strongest growth opportunities for Reno Tahoe because of the ability to generate room nights while filling need periods and bringing families and participants to the community. In my opinion, this is the biggest win of the entire presentation. The United States Bowling Congress Open Championship produced over 11,000 teams, approximately 55,000 bowlers, 140,000 room nights, and an economic impact of $84 million. This is a tremendous return for our community, and it demonstrates why protecting and investing in our bowling infrastructure and our relationship with USBC is so important. The USBC relationship also gives us tremendous storytelling platform. This content allows us to reach the bowling audience well beyond the people physically attending the event. It extends the marketing value of the event and continues to reinforce Reno Tahoe is the home of major bowling championships. Here is a video we produced to welcome the bowlers this past March. In partnership with our stakeholders and the city of Reno, we secured an extension that keeps USBC championships in Reno Tahoe for years to come, including 2 additional open and 1 women's championships through 2038. This is the kind of long-term commitment that provides predictability for our hotels, venues, and businesses. Revel Reno Tahoe is a great example of how we can attract events that attract visitors from outside our market. 73% of their participants were from out of market, traveling from 42 different states and 12 countries abroad, producing more than 2,000 room nights. That is exactly the type of business we want. New visitors experience Reno Tahoe for the first time and potentially coming back. The Vegas to Reno race is another example of taking an established event and creating a new opportunity. With the race reversed and starting in Reno, it creates a different story for us and gives us an opportunity to showcase Reno Tahoe as the starting point. Having Jeremy Renner as the master of ceremonies and competing in the race in addition to the festival and parade gives us another layer of community engagement and destination exposure. Here is a short video from this year's event.
Hey, we'll see you at the race. Bam.
Long Drive Championship is an exciting new partnership with Caesar Entertainment and Visit Reno Tahoe. We're bringing an international championship to Wild Creek Golf Course with participants from more than 30 countries abroad. This creates not only economic impact, but international exposure for the destination. It's another example of our strategy to pursue events that provide both immediate visitation and long-term brand value. I want to emphasize the importance of the capital improvements approved by this board last year. We have committed over $32 million in improvements at the Reno Sparks Event Center and Reno Event Center. This investments address facility improvements, technology, and guest experience, and our drive to remain competitive. If we expect our sales team to compete for major conventions and events, we must give them the facilities that allow them to win. This is an investment in our future business. Froze me. Right, when I was on a roll, 2 slides left. Froze. Okay, I want to close the business portion of the presentation with this slide because it demonstrates that we're not only focused on revenue, but we're focused on efficiency. Through venue efficiencies and reductions in administrative and marketing expenses, we're projecting approximately 1 million in annual net savings to the RSCVA from years 2026 to 2034. That amount will increase to approximately 2 million starting in 2035. This agreement also eliminates all deferred maintenance and facility liabilities for repairs and replacement. Our responsibility is to generate more economic impact while being disciplined with the resources entrusted to us. When I look back at this year, I'm proud of what this organization accomplished, but I'm even more excited about where we're headed. We produced record results. We have strengthened our marketing. We continue to build a strong employee culture. We have deepened our engagement with the board and the community. We expanded programs that are working, and we pursued new opportunities that can have a meaningful impact on our future. But none of this happens because of one person. It happens because of our employees, our board, our hotels, our venues, our community partners, and the many people who believe in Reno Tahoe. I want to thank Sherry Young and every member of this board for your leadership, your trust, and your partnership. We have a tremendous opportunity in front of us, and I believe you're well positioned to take advantage of it. Thank you for your continued support of this Reno Tahoe, and most importantly, your commitment to the future of our community.
Thank you, Mike. That does deserve a round of applause.
It's like you walk in, they clap.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. You know, I have a few prepared comments because the executive and legislative committee has spent considerable time on this item. I'm also being mindful of the time that we have here left. But I want to be precise about both the process and the basis for the recommendation. But again, I want to echo the comments of Mayor Sheeby and Vice Chair Andriola. You and your team have shown a great level of compassion and care for those in our community and have gone above and beyond and really shown exemplary leadership in what it means to be a true community partner for those affected by the fires and other natural events that we've been dealing with. So back to this has been a nearly 2-month process. And I would say it's probably lucky that you're not paying my hourly rate at that point.
You'd be rich.
It has included direct negotiation with Mike, extensive committee discussion, review of the market data, careful consideration of both performance and long-term interests of the RSCVA. We did not begin in the same place, and the recommendation before you does not include everything or even a majority of what was requested. At my request, staff developed comparative compensation information to inform our discussion. There is no perfect comparable for RSCVA, and no single data point should drive this decision. Budget, Organizational size, revenue, benefits, operational responsibilities all matter. Taken as a whole, however, the market information supports the committee's conclusion that an adjustment to base compensation is warranted. Performance is the other important consideration, and as you just heard, Mike's performance against the goals established by this board was strong, including significant overperformance in several areas. Those results should be considered alongside what was an exceptional year for the organization. Group sales room nights increased nearly 20%, tourism sale room nights increased 12%, visitation grew, and taxable room revenue reached nearly $500 million. Those results provide important context for evaluating the performance and the organization and its leadership. Reno Tahoe is competing at a very high level right now. We're making significant investments in the destination and its facilities and programs that drive its success. Part of sustaining that momentum is being able to attract and retain strong leadership. Ultimately, the recommendation consists of targeted compensation adjustments based principally in two things: performance and market position. It recognizes the value of strong leadership while remaining thoughtful about the use of public resources and obligations that we create going forward. The committee has put considerable time and thought into getting this balance right. And before we proceed, I would like to have the other members of the executive and the legislative committee have an opportunity to add anything that they might believe is important. So with that, Mr. Bellows or Mr. Long, I don't know if you have comments that you'd like to add.
I can add some. I won't be as eloquent as yours, but I think, I think I agree with everything you said. I mean, there's a testament to the work put in by the committee to create a balance. And I think what the goal was, at least my goal, what I was trying to do is reflect both performance and salary that recognize the great performance and the overachievement of some of every goal practically. And then also to really put the position where it needs to be vis-a-vis the market. And I think it's funded, and so the current salary, and so that's what the suggested salary in D6, so that's the basis for the recommendation there is. So I think what we did is came up with a good balance.
Thank you, Mr. Bellows. Mr. Long, I don't know if you have any comments.
Yeah, I'll add that I've been associated with the RSCVA for over 25 years, and I think this organization is in the best place it's been in those 25 years. This organization used to be invisible in the community unless there was some controversy. That's when the RSCVA hit the news, and now we're hitting the news in positive lights. And I think that is a great step because local sentiment is so important to an organization like this that relies on tourism. We need the locals on our side here to succeed in what we're doing. Mike has gone above and beyond than what we expected as a board, and I think us as a board now needs to go above and beyond his contract that's in place right now. So I think that's all I want to add for the moment.
Thank you, Mr. Long.
Madam Chair, may I?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, yes, Madam Mayor, go ahead.
I just want to echo the comments, especially the comments in terms, Mr. Long, of the RSCVA moving from hitting the headlines with interesting, emotional stories versus hitting the headlines with success and outcomes that are measurable. I also want to thank the staff for putting together the handout that you have, that you can see supports the hard work that went into the ENL committee and Chair Young's leadership. I had asked for this comparison to help summarize the work that they put in that wasn't necessarily so easily extrapolated from the information that was presented in the board packet. And so you'll see, for instance, that the bonus summary comparison and where Mr. Larragetta lands is not at the top and it's not at the bottom. It's in, I'll use the term, the middle, if you will, or that percentile, and also even the budget summary comparison. So thank you for doing this. I'm sorry, Lori. Thank you, Lori. I didn't want to, I just really appreciate that because the meeting, I mean, they literally produced this in 24 hours, y'all. So I just wanted to commend the backup materials that substantiate all of the work that you are already talking about. But it's an easy way to see where this lands, and I certainly am going to support this. And thank you, Mr. Larigetta, and more importantly, to the team, because that's what leadership is. It's about putting together a team, executing on the goals, and then those are measurable, and in this case, celebrated. What a year. What a year. Now, you know what happens with that, don't you?
Yes.
By the way, I'm just saying, right? Leave that
for the
we'll leave another conversation. We'll stay on that, but thank you for your leadership, and thank you to the ENL team and the finance committee as well. Just everybody's efforts, and congratulations to all of you. And more importantly, congratulations to our community, because that's the benefactor of everybody's hard work. So thank you. Looks forward to 2027. Stretch goals, stretch goals.
Thank you. Madam Mayor?
Thank you so much. Mr. Carano said, he apologized for leaving and wanted me to convey that he was supportive of the chair's recommendation and appreciated the committee's work. So, he said that he dove in extensively, so what do you want me to and a couple little other things, but you know, you know, Glenn, you always have some colorful stuff. So anyway, wow, okay. Just for like context and as Greg was speaking, I was thinking, and our relationship with Lake Tahoe, I don't think has ever been better. I actually, a testament to your engagement on the board, Greg, phenomenal job. Because I can tell you really care and you jump in. You've been a great board member. I have been here probably the longest with, I believe, Molly and Ben. I've been, well, you guys have probably been here longer, way longer. How long?
Since 2001.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I've been on this board
Just a minute.
just a minute. I've been on this board for 14 years. And I love tourism more than anything, and I love sales. I think one of the things is, this is a huge testament, I guess, those of you that run businesses. And might make a lot of sense to take your sales manager and make them the CEO, because they're crazy, crazy competitive. So if you want results, and then also often on the board with Mr. Farahi, you and I have served on this board off and on for many years. And it reminds me so much of how you say results, and sales matter, bottom line are, you know, I always say we can spend all this money trying to make money, but if you're spending all that and saying, yeah, great, look at what we did, but the bottom line doesn't reflect the profit, then what are you doing? It makes no sense. So I've learned from Mr. Farahi along the way, results matter. So I love that. But I do want to, for me, I have to say, and this is probably a very unfair advantage, I have been through, I think, 6 CEOs in the last 14 years, maybe a little bit more. And I have probably been, just to call it the elephant in the room, the least liked board member, because I have not supported compensation packages. And that always unfortunately did make headlines. And I saw in the past, quite honestly, where we rewarded CEOs without absolutely no quantitative results. And I think going into this, whenever Mike became the CEO, we had a little bit of hesitation because it has been such a rocky ride. And to Greg's point, Greg, you know, you talked about those headlines. Usually if it bleeds, it leads. And now what you're seeing are remarkable headlines. And one of the things that you should know, with Creator Camp, I don't know if you guys truly understand the conversion on Creator Camp. Let me explain it to you this way. Those creators all have basically television channels with millions and millions of followers. And then they turn those millions of followers into super fans. The return on that has been absolutely outstanding nationally. Never been a visitors convention and bureau that has ever done anything like it. Christina, a testament to you and a testament to Mike allowing you to get so creative, no pun intended. But it has resonated nationally to be a visitors bureau that stands out bar none. You should be so proud, because I am fortunate enough to know who all those top creators are. And it's really cool. I have to tell this board, this brand is such a vibe right now. You have no idea what a cool vibe this is, and I'm so proud to see it, and that's why I stayed on for 14 years. It was incredibly painful, quite honestly, but I believed in Reno Tahoe so much, and the brand and who we are, what we stand for. We are just a remarkable destination. With that being said, when you look at all these numbers, and I think you put it, Madam Chair, like, look at the numbers of the region. Mike can't take credit for all that, right? But what you can take credit for is how you convert that into success, because you can give someone all the tools, but if they don't know how to convert that success, it doesn't happen. You don't have the results like Mr. Farahi always says. You can give someone the best of the best, but if they're not someone that produces and doesn't have the capability or capacity to understand how to take that momentum and convert it. So to watch what you have done with so many initiatives, from the track to the livestock event center acquisition in in our facilities. Now watching, remember, I want everyone to think about this. We had ASM managing those facilities. The difference is remarkable whenever your team manages those facilities. They care, they have to stay accountable and responsible. Renee, I don't know how you do it, and Chad, I don't know how you do it. These facilities have not been invested in many, 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 many years. And Mr. Farahi knows how important that is, especially in this facility, when we have so many people using it, right? They're here and using it. And so that's a hard thing to do, because we had an outside contractor do it, and the results fell flat. You guys exceeded those results. And I'm sorry I'm going on, but I'm going through sort of the years and years and years of history, how, we get here. And the benchmarks of room nights, monumental, and booking the facilities, monumental, and the media reach, monumental. Like, it's a historic year. So to your point, how are you gonna do that? I'm so sorry.
We're gonna find out.
Here's the good news, I won't be here, so. But anyway, I just wanted to say this whole entire team, absolutely outstanding, remarkable job. And like you said, I looked at these because honestly, I came in knowing a lot of this and thinking, wow, you should absolutely be commended and compensated, because it is tied to quantitative. However, I am pretty hard. Like I said, the last two packages for our CEOs, I absolutely voted no. The other thing that Mike did that is pretty outstanding, and it's very, very rare, and I just saw Jackie at the City of Reno do it, where you absolutely get your entire, a testament to this woman over here, Lori. She got the entire organization to participate in those surveys. That is really critical to find out what the culture is as an organization. Because when you have high turnover rates, it is an astronomical amount. And so I was more worried about the culture. We were at probably one of the lowest levels that we've been in for a very long time. COVID wasn't easy, and then maybe, people sort of checked halfway out. And so I think it's really remarkable to see the culture inside this organization. It is dramatically changed. And so then you top it on with the success of everyone. So I'm gonna shut up now, but I just think where we've been, in the last 14 years, is absolutely remarkable, and you should be very proud of all of you. And bringing back the Mr. Robert Chisel. So is
that a motion?
Mr. Pratt.
Chair, it's wonderful to hear all these praises.
Well, no, we got to say something negative, right?
Exactly. You think
I knew that you could
in
just do it.
perspective now.
Yeah.
Based on the plans we have now, Michael and team, we're gonna go from 36 to 40% occupancy in the convention center, where the national average is, which is by far higher than that. So when you hear I don't know how we're gonna outdo it, we have a ways to go. I'm in the industry, we have a ways to go. God bless all of you. You're on the right track, but not to say we have reached a peak. No, we have started climbing toward that peak. And I want to commend you for what you guys have accomplished. The team is always the team, it's not one person. What I do at Atlantis is not me. Without the team, I will never be able to get anywhere. So I want to thank the whole team and say, let's start getting where we compare to other facilities and occupancies and results. And say now we are one of the best in the industry.
Agreed.
I agree. And also, Mr. Fry, you should know that my reputation precedes me in terms of my being relentless and having wild expectations. So Mr. Larragette is on notice.
Noted.
Councilwoman Biden.
That's 60%.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
40.
I would just like to say, to echo a lot of what a lot of you have said too, and sitting on this board for 6 years, lots of changes, lots of changes that I've seen from the moment I walked in the door in December 2020 in the middle of COVID doing virtual meetings to what has transpired, and it's been a lot. It's been a roller coaster. I really feel we're in a really good place right now. And like everyone has said, it is Mr. Larragette, but it's the team. And then I believe, echoing Mr. Farahi, that we can't rest on our laurels. And I don't feel like the momentum and kind of the culture that we're shifting the organization to, because culture is really everything. And culture takes 2 years to change if it's a bad culture. And that historically with this, the mayor is seeing way before I got here and some when I was initially here of changing the culture. And I think we're on the right track, absolutely. And I think that we've got to continue moving that direction and really challenging ourselves to outdo what we've done already. And just impressed though with all the work and all the progress that we have made. I think we can celebrate that today, but I think we never rest on that. And I'm gonna hand it off to all of you, because like Mayor Sheeby, I won't be here after November. So I just
Then
think.
we leave it in a better place.
Huh?
Then we leave it in a better place, right?
Exactly. Yes, and that is always, yeah, for anything we do, and you're right, Mayor, leaving this organization in a better place, and certainly a better place when you walked on the board than when I got here. So thank you.
Right, are there additional comments from our board members? I actually think we've heard from everyone. Well, thank you for the wonderful engagement. Item D5 is sort of looking back to last fiscal, and D6 is looking forward. Is there a motion?
I'll move to.
Okay, no, you go.
No.
Are we on D4 or we're on D4 for motion, correct?
No.
We're on.
Did we move for
There's no
D4?
motion. I'll second.
I'm trying, I move to approve.
We've had a week.
Yeah, I know.
What am I talking
We're
about?
on
We've
4
had
hours sleep.
Clara put up with me, trust me.
Oh, sorry, isn't D4 our lobbying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confusing D5 and D6. Just ignore me.
So we opened D5 and D6 at the same time.
Yes.
D5 and 6, okay.
Correct.
See, I'm already out the door.
No. Alright, so we have D5 and D6, and I believe there's a motion. And motion by Vice Chair Andriola and a second by Madam Mayor. Should be, yes.
Yep, so I just want to make sure we're clear for the record. So the motion is to approve the merit increases recommended, the bonuses recommended, and the revisions to the employment contract as presented.
That's correct. That's what I said.
Okay.
You did a great job. You did a great job, sir.
Thank you. Is there further discussion, Mr. Fry?
Madam Chair, I had discussed with the staff when the service came out that I have not been on this board long enough to make it take a stand. But I have heard this morning from legal that I cannot say, I do not want to vote on this. So he said, if not, you have to say no. I'm not going to do no today. Because of the momentum on that, I will vote yes. So, and look forward to achieving all the goals that we discussed this morning.
Thank you. I tried to do the same thing last year. Before.
The good news is we'll be gone, but John will be here.
That's right.
Right. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. We've had our discussion. I'll go ahead and call for the item. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none. This item's passed unanimously. Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Larringetta, and your team for a wonderful start to what we know will be a continued success.
May I just add that I also heard Mr. Farahi say that that's 40%. That means you got 60% left to go to get to 100. Right? It's easy math.
Very competitive.
Congratulations, but
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh,
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know it's been a lot of work. Thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate you.
I'm really in charge of now sales department. I have a first-hand experience with this lady. She's gonna get the job done and I'll come aboard with them.
We have a great team. We will get the job done.
Yes. Okay, we're on to item D7, which is our discussion and possible action to approve full-time RSCVA employees, or to provide, I apologize, full-time RSCVA employees a 5% deferred compensation program match. This item has been intentionally put out for the board's discussion, review, consideration. And I know that it is a priority for our CEO to continue to look and evaluate, look at the benefits as provided to the employees. Are there any comments or questions on this item?
There's not, I'm happy to motion.
Okay.
I'd like to, go ahead.
Sorry.
I just would like to comment on a couple of things if I could, Madam Chair. Is there gonna be a presentation on this or what would you like to do?
I do think that there is a presentation and thank you for pulling me back on that.
I'm just wondering if we could quickly hear from it.
Sure.
So we
Sorry.
don't, Amanda,
No,
we
okay.
didn't prepare a presentation. We're happy to speak to it briefly as to why we're here, why we got here. Robert can jump in and speak to the financial side of it. And Lori as well. We've obviously done a complete assessment of the current deferred program that we have at the RSCVA and what that represents in liability based on the number of employees, what it would look like with a match to complement that. But to back up a little bit, just for the edification of the board, is that this leadership team has been looking at various opportunities for the entire organization and the staff for probably over a year, whether it's vacation, insurance, HSA, sick pay, deferred comp opportunities. And during the process of my review, identifying concessions that I know exist in other organizations, I felt that there were two items identified. We ended up tabling one of those items, and the remaining concession, the only concession that we brought forward as part of my potential new agreement, but was then tabled in the E&L meeting to bring back to the entire board for this meeting as an agenda item for the entire organization, was the deferred comp. So that's how we got to where we were today. We feel that it is absolutely something that would be very well appreciated, and our staff would love it. It's a retention tool. We have not utilized cost of living assessments in this organization for, I believe, the last 2 years. Robert can fact check me on that. When we did have our last COLA, we did a reverse COLA where we gave the percentage to the frontline staff and then tiered it lower to where the senior staff and directors did not receive a COLA. And so we felt that a deferred comp, obviously that is something that the employee has to participate in, wants to participate in, and it's a nice way for us to have retention within the organization.
Thank you, Mr. Chisel. Are there additional comments from?
No, I was just going to add that the total financial impact to the organization, if everyone participated at 100%, would be $500,000. However, based on past history of other organizations, it'll probably be more like the 30 to 40% range. So it will probably be more likely in the $150,000 to $200,000 impact to the organization. And we believe we have that in our budget through salary savings to absorb that.
So are there questions, comments?
I have a comment.
Yep.
First of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Larringetta, for having the pre-briefing to give, no, really, because it gives all board members an opportunity to digest a lot of information, and sometimes there's complexity to various things at various levels. So the comments I'm going to make are not anything in a derogatory way or meant to help celebrate what we just celebrated. Although you've got 60%, Mr. Ferrari said 60%. But I do feel, I think deferred compensation is absolutely a great way for all employees to have opportunities saved. That's the bottom line. Everyone has that opportunity now. But it's the match that I'm going to speak to. The reason I want to speak to the match is that I had brought this up in the meeting yesterday, where HSA, as an example, as a benefit, all employees can benefit 100%. And although 100% of the employees can benefit and have the eligibility with this item, so it's not that it's being carved out for just leadership, if you will, but it is available to all. But the reality is that some employees, just based on their individual circumstances, may not necessarily have the opportunity, for instance, to put in $100 or $200, even though we would encourage that. And I think what it does is, I think number one, the 93 percentile of satisfaction was huge that you mentioned. I mean, that is over the 50%, right, that you talked about on a national level earlier today. And I think that the analysis that we could see as a board would be to look at what other benefits, what is the cost implication. So for instance, with the HSA program, kudos to RSCVA for giving the employees the $2,700 is, I believe, is that correct?
22.
Oh, I got, okay, I just raised it by accident. The 2,200, my point is that that's a very generous benefit. And I think that all then employees benefit from that. I think if we look at the analysis with some unpredictable things like PERS, where the legislature will increase, and then that's out of our control. Those things are out of our control. If the legislature comes down with those that have an effect on the wage of an employee, we have to abide by that. All entities have to abide by that. And so I think being equitable to all employees is to look at some of the benefits like HSA, for instance, which is already offered. But Mr. Larangetta yesterday just ticked off all of the benefits that aren't offered to employees right now. And I think that analysis is what we should be looking at, and consideration of the 5% match as well. But I don't think that we have enough information from my perspective to actually look at doing this right now. I think that we should be looking at what the high levels of retention, satisfaction, attracting the best of the best and keeping them. To the mayor's point, the cost of a business, whether it's a government entity or a for-profit or anyone who's an employer, when you have turnover, it's exponential. So the fact is that you've created, Mr. Larangetta, through your leadership, a very strong employee satisfaction. So we're not necessarily looking at how do we even make it better? Of course we want to, but I don't think the liability issue that we're putting on the table right now has unintended consequences. And I feel there's also unintentional inequity. And I think I'd like to encourage this board to actually consider tabling and actually ask for an analysis to come back so we can look at the liability, both short-term and long-term, and the equitability, being equitable to all employees and considering that, because some people are in a different financial situation than others, and we should be looking at that benefit as being the retention and attraction for current employees and also those future employees. You're going to be hiring 3 positions, if I remember right, that you just spoke about. That's how you attract the best of the best. So it's nothing against this as being an opportunity to consider, but it's only one option, and I'd like to see more. So thank you for the time, Madam Chair. I appreciate it.
So I'm hearing you say you want to look at more benefits as well as deferred comp. Yeah, okay.
Well, the deferred comp, I have it's the match.
Okay, so here's and thank you so much. You know, I really appreciate and recognize that you also recognize that it's very difficult today, that some people may not be able to invest in it. This is why I believe big time in deferred comp, because it also matches what they can afford. So then it doesn't become an inequity. And that's why I like that, especially for people that don't. You might feel differently, that's just how I feel. The other thing I would say is, this sector is to me, the most important sector. Tourism is the most important sector in our state, to me. That's just me. Gaming and tourism is the most. And I think for, especially we talked about it, talent retention tools, I would want everything I possibly could to have the best of the best on my team. That comes with taking care of your team, and now more than ever, I wouldn't wanna lose a good team, and you want people to wanna work for your organization. That's how you create results. Turnover it can be astronomical. I was just reading something about a CEO that makes around 330,000 a year, that it can cost you like 990,000 in a first year. It's like astronomical.
Yeah.
And so I love what you're saying. I get that. However, that's where deferred comp, and we, and you know, I've just done a lot of studies on it because I never quite understood until, you know, it was offered to me. And I would just say that that's really something that, like I said, it's a way, we're not paying people to simply stay. I think we're creating a shared investment in staying, actually. I think that's what it is also sharing in that investment. And that's what I like. I love matches of other kinds. As a matter of fact, for this fire, just reached out to a lot of people and they said, we want to give you donations. And I've asked other businesses, please match, right? Because it creates that investment, that shared investment. I like to see it that way instead of just, you know, big fluffy packages. There's a lot of different ways you can do that, but this comes with their own investment in the culture they believe in. And that's why those work. That's just me. So, I am in favor, so. And we can look at other, I'm sure they would love that. They would probably love for you to look at other, not that you're not worthy, I believe you are, but, just, yeah, I'm sure they'd love you to look at anything. So, but today I would like to.
May I just clarify, it's not the deferred compensation. Deferred compensation is wonderful. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the match and not having the other benefits as an analysis to this board. So that's what I'm talking about.
Got it.
Just want to make sure that I'm clear.
Yeah, maybe I didn't understand.
Yeah, it's actually the match, not a deferred compensation.
Okay.
So the deferred compensation would be available. I believe in that. That's a great way for employees to decide what their future is as they invest for retirement. It's the match piece, and it's that benefit and that cost potential that I think should be analyzed against other benefits that may be considered.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I was trying to say, with the match, that's where the people that can't afford a lot get the biggest benefits of that, whenever they can put in some and then you can match that. And that's what creates the retention tool.
But if they can't afford it, they won't get the match.
Well, that's true.
That's what I'm trying to say. If they can't afford it. So I guess we're done.
Well,
Anyway,
I take order.
Thank you both for your comments, Mr. Farahi.
Madam Chair, I believe it's a great idea to look at totality of the picture, and we should delay this till we see all the elements, pay, how we can make it equitable, and be able for everybody can participate in that. So they can do it one month delay and bring all the level to the end, because I don't know, I don't know how it works. I don't even know how frankly in the public sector, how these issues work, so.
Well, Madam Chair,
Yes.
just to add to that, I was on the pre-board with Claris, so I got kind of a bigger, you know, up front, I knew what she
Got
was
a
talking
longer
about. Version of what, and I really agree with you, because we're looking at a pot of money that will cost the RCVA will spend, whether it's 250 or 500,000. And I think delaying it to look at what other benefits, whether it's sick, vacation, things Mike mentioned that you don't have for employees, review those and what those costs would be and how many people, what the benefit would be overall, and weigh that versus doing the match today. Because if we do the match today, I don't know fiscally that I can support additional things that would also be beneficial. So I think kind of weighing those, and I would support Clara on just tabling this for today, but definitely coming back to it.
100%.
Okay, I think procedurally,
Would it make it easier if I just throw a motion and we can go?
okay.
Is that easier?
Well, that's where I was
Anyone else
looking
wants to-
at, because there was a motion, there was also a request to table.
Okay.
So
So I made the motion.
you made a motion. Robert's rules tells us that a request to table takes priority. Is that true?
So a motion to table, so.
A motion.
I
Take
like
that as a
to-
motion, there's a second, then that
I'll
takes
second
priority.
the
over
motion
first
to table.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so
Good job, sir.
Has to be here.
Yeah. Have my Robert's rule ready. No.
Okay, so there's a motion to table and a second. I'm
With
not
the
sure-
direction on the table clear for what we're talking about.
Well, I don't know that it's clear in terms of its timing.
Okay,
If-
no, not timing.
Well, but if this board is going to entertain a request to move this and table this item,
Okay.
I am directing that this come back to the board in the next 30 days at the board meeting. I do not want to continue to delay benefits, yes, but I'm just making my comment. We're in discussion. So if that is where this may be headed, the timing, I think, needs to be considered, but let's put it out there for a vote. There's a motion to table and a second. All those,
Okay.
oh, yeah, do you have
No,
discussion,
go
Madam
ahead.
Mayor?
Go ahead.
Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that motion passes unanimously, or
No.
not
No.
unanimously,
It
it
does not.
passes, sorry.
It does not.
The two
I am
abstained
not
are,
for that.
sorry.
No,
The
everyone
two-
has been
the
briefed.
two nays.
Everyone has been briefed on this, I'm sure,
but-
extensively.
yes, the
This
two
is-
nays.
That's not right. It just says that we don't, anyway, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm
The
a
two
no.
nays are me and the mayor. Okay, for the record. Okay. Well, thank you. We will move into item E, which are the board member announcements, reports and updates. Before we lose our mayor, I would like to mention why I just wanted to.
Causing problems.
No, I just wanted to thank you for your service as chair of this board.
Oh, you're so
And,
sorry. You're
um,
amazing.
The extraordinary effort that you have put in, a lot of the work of the chair is often unseen and therefore unrewarded. But that should not take away from what I know are hours, days, long nights and dedication to this organization, and I personally wanted to thank you.
No, well, I've
And I've kept you
someone that's gonna do 10 times better.
beyond your time here.
All right,
The other, thank you. If there are other items, I would like to have any board member comment. And then I will happily give an airport update, which we haven't done in a while.
I have a brief, just an announcement,
Okay,
if I could. I'm sorry. Did you
No,
want to go
please,
first?
please, please.
Sure. Just wanted to let everyone know that the city of Sparks, along with the Nevada Veterans Memorial Plaza, is holding a 9/11 25th anniversary celebration memorial at 9 o'clock that Friday morning at the marina at the Veterans Memorial Plaza. Noah Bond is going to be our MC. We think, and I'm knocking on wood, that we're working on getting a military flyover. We have our keynote speaker is General Ron Bath, who was actually working at the Pentagon that day, has a tremendous story that I won't spoil by giving you any more details about that. And I've known Ron personally. His wife flew for American Airlines with me, so he was there. It was an American Airlines flight that hit the Pentagon, so his story is very compelling. And we have just a really nice program, 9 to 10 a.m. at the marina. Could share that with other people. We'll start getting social media stuff out on it, but nobody had really done, there was not much done here locally on 9/11. I know our fire department did a little ceremony, Carson City did. And I'm really glad to see with the 25th anniversary that we're doing it in Sparks. Reno is doing a ceremony that I won't be at because it's at 5:30 in the morning. They're doing it on real time. So they're doing like 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. at the Believe Plaza. I'll give them a plug. And then I just got a thing from the university. So I'm really appreciative that there will be multiple ceremonies recognizing 9/11, which we cannot forget. And you're all invited.
thank you. Mr. Farahi?
We have discussed a few times regarding my companies that have their regional office here, the headquarters here, how we can get their meetings and events in our community. If you could give us next meeting update, who we have talked to, what are they saying, why they say no?
Yeah.
I want to understand what is they know about and who you have talked to.
Okay.
So if you could give us an update on that, we would greatly appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you. Are there other comments from our board members? Okay, on the airport front, of course, we're kicking things off with the wildfires. Over the past several weeks, our region, and unfortunately, Vice Chair Andriola has had to hear this probably twice now, from the airport's perspective, but our region has been impacted by multiple wildfires, and the airport update, I'll keep brief. But R&O remained open throughout, and there were no fire-related impacts to commercial operations. Our Reno-Stead Airport has opened and closed multiple times during the period, restricted to firefighting and military aircraft only when closed to general aviation. So that was an important thing to our CEO to make sure that we could support those efforts, and so we closed that down to the general aviation community. The Hawk Fire, which began on August 22nd, has brought a second round of firefighting operations at Stead, and combined across all of the events, including the Bug, Fred Mountain, and Stallion fires. It was Stead's second busiest fire season since 2017. We're obviously very grateful to our firefighters on the front lines and for everyone providing support, including our team at Stead, including the RSCVA, and those whose shelter support for evacuees has been invaluable to our community. But like everyone here, we are heartened by the containment numbers announced, and we hope that that continues. Nashville, our inaugural event. In addition to the flight, the airport is, their team is hard at work preparing for this nonstop flight to Nashville. They have planned activities that are being coordinated, and so I'll make sure that you guys are all kept in the loop on that. And we're grateful for the RSCVA's support and partnership on those events. We look forward to continuing to work together and grow our air service that benefits the region. We have Burning Man coming in, so it wouldn't be August without the mention of Burning Man. Thousands of travelers will move through the Reno Tahoe International Airport in the coming days on their way to the playa, and our team is fully prepared to handle that. In years past, we've had a bicycle donation program so that when they return, they are not discarding used bikes and things like that. So we'll continue to work and make efforts. Previously, we've made hangars available so that they can clean up. Our airline partners appreciate that. And so all is well. Our construction continues, and I will have hopefully an announcement in our next board meeting when my quiet period ends on some major, let's see, opportunities, revelations.
Revelations.
Yes, in terms of our more R&O program. So
We're on a schedule.
we are on schedule and we are on budget.
Okay.
All right.
That's a double win.
I know that you asked for comments, but I do feel compelled to again thank the RSCVA. I know that I called Mike early on, and Mike was already on it, and the team was on it, and Renee was on it, everyone was on it in terms of standing up the shelter. As you know, at one point, there was as many as 90,000 residents that could have been, that were actually either in a go, there's 42,000 at the time, 45,000 on the yellow. So 42,000 was a go now, which is what we saw. And then there was additional 45,000 that were in a yellow zone, get ready. And so the fact that if you think about that's one fifth of our community, 90,000 people. Thank goodness that the team that came in was responsive. I think it's I would be remiss if I didn't thank Washoe County leadership for drafting the emergency declaration, and Governor Lombardo for signing that document, which immediately allowed response from all the resources with all hands on deck. And I think we're seeing the benefit of that with a 93% containment. All evacuations have been lifted. So it is clear that the shelter is probably going to be closing today. which is a good thing. But I will share that I went by the shelter and just spoke with some of the staff, and they were very, very complimentary of the seamlessness of the cooperation of the RSCVA and staff, along with many other partners, including RTC and others. So I felt that it was important to share that piece because they used the word seamless. When I said, how did it go? They said seamless. So that's their comment to you that I'm passing along. So kudos to all of you. Let's hope that, please be safe out there. There's a community meeting tonight at O'Brien Middle School at 7 p.m. For those folks that will be able to ask questions. As you know, there's been some chatter of evacuations and some frustration. And so I think this community meeting will allow the residents and the community to understand even some of the science about how they do this and how they close roads. And I asked for this meeting tonight, and I'm extremely excited to be able to say, and from my heart of hearts, to be able to say, like, we are one community. Fires don't recognize jurisdictional lines. And we have to work together. When there's this kind of a situation in any disaster, we are about one community. We're about neighbors helping neighbors. Thanks to all the casinos for their generosity. Thanks to the team effort. And hopefully, we won't see fires. But to be honest, we are halfway through the fire season, guys. We are halfway through the fire season. Later on, I'll probably be talking about a revelation because I'm starting a GOAT campaign, and I'm talking to those legislators who talk about a GOAT campaign. More to come on that. A GOAT campaign to eradicate cheatgrass from our vernacular in our community. But that's another story. More to come.
People.
I know, there's a
all
lot of
summer.
GOAT people that are out
It's
there.
never ends for-
Well, actually goats, not
We
goat
have the
people.
goats.
We have goats. But thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity. I hope everybody can appreciate how much we come together in these times. Thank you.
Thank you.
RSCVA.
Right, thank you. That'll move us into item F, which are comments from the floor by the public. Do we have any public comment?
No public comment.
Thank you. With that, we'll be adjourned.
Thank you.